Sarah Backhouse from Hub Culture. I'm here with Carl Nettleton. He is the founder of Open Oceans Global. Welcome, Carl. Welcome back, I should say, to the summit.
Sarah, good to see you again. It's nice to be here again.
You're a veteran of the Governor's Global Climate Summit.
Been to all three, yep.
Yes. How is it different this year to the previous ones?
Well, yeah, I think it's interesting. The last summit was very much focused on mitigation. You know, what can we do to reduce carbon emissions? And I think this time there's been a real trend towards two things. One, to adaptation. How do we respond to climate change and in what ways? And then really an important focus on the economy, because as important as the environment is, it's about economy and quality of life and how climate change affects people's lives. And so that's understanding that self-interest is what brings people to this important mission is really, I think, where this is all going.
I think you really hit the nail on the head there. I think green jobs is something that's been touted in the media, and I think people are getting a little frustrated. They want to see where they are. Are you hopeful that there will be more green jobs as we go into these next few years? Well,
I think very much so. I'm from San Diego, and there's there's 700 organizations in San Diego that are a part of the Green Technology Hub. And there was an interesting national article about why California seemed very comfortable with Proposition 23, or opposing Proposition 23 and AB 32. And in California, people are used to it. Our neighbors put on solar roofs. We're implementing that technology. It's still new in other parts of the country, but in California, it's not whether we're going to do it, it's when we're going to do it. And I think that's a real shift here, and we hope that spreads across the nation and internationally.
Yes, that influence to travel inland.
That's right.
And keep crossing over. Now, this year, I believe, is the year of the oceans. Is that right? And why are oceans so important to us?
Well, oceans are important, as the oceanographer of the Navy, Admiral David Tutley, said. The ocean is the dog that wags climate's tail. We spend a lot of time focusing on the tail, and we have to, but understanding the ocean and its relationships to climate change, to precipitation patterns on the planet, are really, really very important. And when you think about that, think about that 1 billion people in the world rely on fish for protein. Tens of millions may be threatened by sea level rise and have to move away from coastal areas. Millions more, if the precipitation changes in a negative way in their area, may face food shortages. And it's interesting because the defense departments all around the world are intensely studying climate change because they want to be prepared for the kind of civil unrest that is possible when you move millions of people or find you have starvation in places where it wasn't before related to these climate change issues.
There's so many kind of battles to fight in the oceans, isn't there? From the acidification to coral reefs degradation to the overfishing. How do you prioritize?
Well, there's certainly fires you have to put out, and you have to do the most important things first, and there are a lot of folks doing that. But we really think the important thing now is to really understand the ocean so we can understand where to adapt and understand what actions we can take so that we can maintain fish populations and so that the very negative effects that we're concerned about from climate change don't happen, as you said, ocean acidification, the loss of coral reefs. And so our goal is to really aggregate the world's ocean data and put it in a place in the cloud where all over the world nations and researchers can see what we know and what we don't know and figure out what their role is in helping us to better understand this mysterious blue space out there.
Give me a feel of what's a day in the life at Open Oceans Global. What do you guys do on a daily basis?
Well, on a daily basis, we're reaching out to people. We're trying to understand who's doing what, how, and when. Part of it is not just the data; it's the information. We're trying to gather the very information that folks can access in a very easy and simple way, point to all of the good work that's going around the planet. And so the whether school kids or teachers or just the general public can say, I didn't know they were doing that, and they'll be able to easily get it. We don't want to do the work ourselves. We want to point to all that good work that's going on out there and be of service.
Nicely done. Carl Nettleton, thank you very much for joining us.